So, with our Designing with Passion project, I really wanted to find a project that was dear to me and something that I knew that I could help other teachers learn how to do and learn how to increase their communication with parents. So, I got the idea of using Classdojo. I started using Classdojo about 4 years ago now. My mentor teacher introduced me to Classdojo and showed me how well it would help with my classroom management and communication with parents. So once I started using it, my principal showed interest in Classdojo and thought it was a great tool to use for classroom management and communicating with parents. I use Classdojo for my 4E in my professional learning. So when I noticed that a lot of our teachers were having issues with classroom management or communicating with our parents, because our school is majority a Spanish population, so we have a hard time communicating with our parents who do not speak English. So when my principal saw me in my classroom during a evaluation, during a time where I was teaching a lesson, and she saw Classdojo posted up on my whiteboard, she thought it was a wonderful tool and asked me how I use it in my classroom. I explained that I use Classdojo to share messages and information with parents. I told her that I can message parents individually or as a whole class and tell them about what happened with their child this day, or if there's any concerns that I have, and that we could meet in person. So once I talked about Classdojo, my principal thought it was a good idea to try to use Classdojo with different teachers in our school. So during our Bulldog Cafe, which is our monthly teacher meetings after school, Mrs. Battle and Dr. Williams, our principal, wanted me to try to interject during the meeting and ask about Classdojo. I told parents and I told teachers if they wanted to use Classdojo, I would greatly help them with creating their own classroom. So that's where it started. I made sure that I was available for any teachers to use Classdojo in the morning, after school, and even during the day. I sent out emails telling teachers if they needed any help with Classdojo, I'm here. Our principal put it in our bulletin broadcast that if anyone does need help with Classdojo, Mrs. Chan is available, so I did not mind helping. I helped some of our pre-K teachers set up their Classdojos. I showed them all the tools they can use. Many of my teachers were hesitant to use the tools to message parents. They rather just share class stories, which is post, basically like a Facebook, about what's happening in the classroom. Some of my teachers are still worried about sending messages to parents, so they only use Classdojo to share a class story. I, however, show teachers that with messages, your parent can talk to you one-on-one. If your parent has trouble speaking English, they can communicate in the language they speak and it comes back to you in English. I assured parents that students can use it in the upper grades for themselves and they can communicate with their parents and teachers as well. I also allowed teachers to see my own Classdojo in my classroom and all the tools that I use with it. I told them that it's not just for communicating with parents and teachers, that you can have so many tools to use for classroom behavior, for classroom management. I also told them that when they use Classdojo, it's a great way to communicate with parents because it's sometimes hard to communicate with our parents just by phone call. I love how I could tell the other teachers in my school that we could be co-teachers. When I gave them that idea and showed them that idea, they were able to use this so that each student can see what they're doing in the classroom. So, once that feature was available, I told teachers to please come to my classroom. I helped them upload documents. I helped them learn how to use Classdojo for management, for points. I showed them how the students love to change their icons. I showed them that there's different tools they can use. And where I am now, teachers still come to visit my classroom. And when they come to my classroom, they may have a question here or there about Classdojo. And of course, I don't mind. There are some parents that need help with Classdojo. So what I want to try to do is I want to ask our principal if I could have a workshop during a PD to help any teachers that still need help with Classdojo. I also want to have maybe a parent workshop once every other month to help any parents that still do not understand how to use Classdojo and what the benefits of Classdojo are. I think the project so far has gone great. We are now a Classdojo school, so many of our teachers are on board on Classdojo. There's only a couple teachers that are not on Classdojo, and hopefully that they'll get on board once they get to see Classdojo in person, or if they come to a workshop that I hope to create at our school.